All and welcome back to the class. Today in this session you'll be learning about subject and verb agreement, which is very important as far as competitive exams are concerned, because you are always given questions on subject and verb agreement in the exams, and this actually comes under spotting errors or sentence improvement section. So let's start this session. So before I give you all the rules of subject and verb agreement, let's first try to understand what is actually subject and a verb in a sentence. So there is a very simple example given here. This is my book. In this sentence, you can notice, two words which are, one is given in red color and the other one is in blue color. So I first suggest you guys to concentrate on the verb in the sentence. Always identify the verb first. This is my book. What is the verb in the sentence? Is the verb. And remember, subject is that part which always precedes the verb. Okay, what is meant by preceding? Coming before. So subject always comes before the verb. So once you identify a verb in the sentence, then you need to understand, then you need to see what actually precedes the verb. And here what is preceding the verb is this. Okay, and the second rule, I told you to first identify the verb, and the second thing that you need to do is you need to see whether the subject is singular or plural. Okay, here this this, this, is it singular or plural? It is singular, right? That means when the subject is singular, it should also be followed by a singular verb. Now what we need to see, what is a singular verb or a plural verb? It's a singular verb. Okay, that means there is a proper agreement between subject and verb. Simple. Subject and verb agreement means whenever there is a singular subject, it should be followed by a singular verb. If at all, if there is an plural subject, that plural subject should be followed by a plural verb. Simple rule. Okay, now look at the second example. These are my books. When I say these are my books, these is the subject and are is the verb. These is plural and are is also plural. That means there is a proper agreement between subject and verb here. Simple rule, as I told you, singular subject should be followed by singular verb, and a plural subject should be followed by plural verb. So these are the three things that you should keep in mind while solving subject and verb, agreement questions. First, identify the subject. Okay, if you go back to this sentence, this is my book. So first we need to identify the subject. What is the subject here? This is the subject. And then see, is the subject singular or plural? Okay, is the subject singular or plural? See here, the subject is missing. Please write down, is the subject singular or plural? That's what it should be, but subject is missing here. Please try to correct it. Is the subject singular or plural? Okay, you identified the subject here. This is the subject, and now this is singular, right? And next you need to see, is the verb singular or plural? So this is my book. Is singular here. That means there is a proper agreement between subject and the verb, right? Now look at these two examples. These are my book. Do we say this are or this is? Okay, this are my book? No, this is my book, because this is singular. And again, come back to these 3 points. First, identify the subject. Subject is this. Then see whether it is singular or plural. This is singular. Now see, is the verb used singular or plural? The verb used here is plural. A-R-E-R is used, which means the statement is wrong. There is no proper agreement. Same is the case with the next sentence. These is my books. Do we say these is my books? These is singular or plural? It is plural. And now check whether the verb is singular or plural. Is singular or plural? It is singular. So subject is plural, is followed by a singular verb, which means there is a mismatch. Okay, these is my books. No, these are my books. Clear? Done. Now look at this table. This table gives you a list of very commonly used be form verbs: am, is, are, and was, were. So in present time you have singular be forms am and is, and the plural form for am and is are. And the past form for am and is was, and the plural form of was is were. You should know this table actually. Singular form is has, and the plural form of has is have, and the past form of has is had, and of course for have also the past form is had. Learn this table. This will be of great help to you. I believe that most of you already know this table, but in case if there is anyone who doesn't know this table, please try to learn. And now let's concentrate on the rules. Rule number one. Okay, first read this sentence. Someone have completed the work. So this is the sentence given to you. Now you need to see whether the agreement is correct or not. Someone have completed the work. So identify the subject first. What is the subject? Someone. The next question, is someone singular or plural? Okay, someone is singular. Okay, someone is singular. Now see what verb is used. You have used have. Is have singular or plural? Look at this table. Where is have? Have is here in the plural list. Okay, are, were, have. These three are plurals. Have is a plural verb. And here someone is singular and you have used have, which is plural. That means there is no agreement. So now you need to correct it. Someone have completed the work. No, it is not someone have completed. It is someone has completed. So remember that there are some pronouns. There are some pronouns in English which are always used as singulars. So this is rule number one. You need to learn all these pronouns. You should keep them in mind. So the list of pronouns which are always used as singulars is given here. So the first one is each, anyone, one, anybody, something, someone, nobody, somebody, everyone, anything, no one, everybody, much. Which simple. Each, someone, no one, anyone, and everyone. Somebody, nobody, anybody, and everybody. Okay, clear? Keep this in mind. And remember that all these pronouns are always used as singulars. Okay, and at the same time, either and neither also. Remember, I kept in brackets only either. So there is something called either or. Okay, and neither nor. I'm not speaking about either or neither nor. I'm speaking about only either and neither. So whenever you use only either or neither in a sentence, it should always be used as singular. For example, either of my friends is good, or neither of my friends is good. Okay, fine. So try to solve this question. Each of these boys have completed the work. So I told you to first concentrate on the verb. In this sentence, the verb is have completed. Okay. Now something that precedes the verb should be considered as subject. Now what is preceding this verb? Have completed is preceded by each of these boys. Okay. Each of these boys. If you read this statement, from this particular part, boys have completed the work. Boys have completed the work. It sounds perfect. Okay, because boys is plural. But you need to concentrate on the entire chunk. Okay, the chunk that precedes the verb here is each of these boys. Now you need to decide whether this part is singular or plural. Is it singular or plural? Boys is basically plural. Boys is a plural noun. But remember, I told you here in this list you can see each, right? I told you that these pronouns should always be used as singulars. You can notice each here. Each is always used as singular. So remember, whenever a plural noun is preceded by each, okay, which means whenever a plural noun has each before it, it should always be used as singular. So each of these boys have, no, it is each of these boys has. Okay, so the correct expression here is each of these boys has completed the work, not have. Okay, and the rule is each should always be used as singular. Now rule number two. Few students is always late to the class. Few students is always late to the class. So now what is the verb here in the sentence? The verb is. Now what is the subject? Few students is the subject. Okay. So few students is plural and is singular. So there is no agreement between subject and verb here. Some pronouns are always plural, and this is what you should keep in mind. So there are some pronouns which are always used as plural. This is rule number two. Several, both, few, and many. So whenever you use these pronouns, you should remember that these pronouns are always used as plurals. So few students is plural. It should be followed by a plural verb. So we don't say few students is, we say few students are. Next. Question number 3. Some of the boys are absent to the class. Some of the boys are absent to the class. Now, can you see what's wrong with this sentence? So, always identify the verb first. So, here the verb is ARER. And now, what actually precedes the verb? What comes before the verb is some of the boys. Now we need to see whether some of the boys is singular or plural. Is the subject is singular or plural? Can you tell? Is some of the boys singular or plural? Remember that there are some pronouns in English that can be used both as singular as well as plural. Okay, some pronouns can be used both as singular as well as plural, and this is the list of those pronouns: some, all, most, none, and half of. These pronouns can be used both as singulars as well as plurals. So here some of the boys. Now we need to decide whether some, you know that some can be used both as singular as well as plural. Now you need to decide whether it acts as a singular, subject or a plural subject here in this context. Okay. Remember, whenever some is followed by a singular noun, it should be considered as singular. If some is followed by a plural noun, it should be considered as plural. Simple. Some of the boys, boys is singular or plural? It is plural. So some of the boys should be considered as plural. Okay. And look at the other statement, some of my work. Some is followed by work, work. Work is singular. So some should also be considered as singular. So now some of the boys are absent to the class is absolutely fine because some of the boys is considered as plural here. And now in this sentence, some of my work has not, okay, some of my work, we consider this particular chunk as singular, so it should be followed by a singular verb, and the verb that is following some of my work is has. That means there is perfect proper agreement, statement is perfect. Okay, done. So let me revise once again. We discussed three rules. So the first rule is there are some pronouns which are always singular. Okay, like each, anyone, one, everybody, something, someone, nobody, somebody, everyone, anything, no one, everybody, and much. To remember it simply, keep 2 points in mind: some and every. Someone, no, sorry, one and buddy, someone, no one, everyone, and anyone, and buddy, somebody, nobody, anybody, and everybody. And at the same time, each, every, neither, either, and much. Remember these pronouns, they're always used as singulars. The next list is the next list is a short one. So the second point is there are some pronouns which are always plural. Several, both, few, many should always be used as plurals. And the third rule is there are some pronouns that can be used both as singular as well as plural. They are, sorry, excuse me. Okay, some pronouns can be used both as singular as well as plurals. So some, all, most, none, and half of. They can be used both as singular as well as plural. So these are the three rules that we discussed. So the next question. Okay, question number 4. The little girl along with her friends are playing caroms. So these kind of statements, you need to be very careful when you come across these kind of sentences because they're very confusing. The little girl along with her friends are playing caroms. So the first point, always identify the verb first in the sentence. What is the verb here? Are playing is the verb. So are is singular or plural? It is plural, right? Clear? Now identify the subject. So subject is something that precedes the verb. That means the part that comes before the verb can be considered as subject, right? So here the part that is coming before the verb is the little girl along with her friends, right? So this part is preceding the verb, the little girl along with her friends. And the verb is are playing. Now we need to say the little girl along with her parents. Is this part singular or plural? So please keep in mind that there are some additive phrases which are used to join one noun with the other. And these additive phrases are given in the exams to confuse you, to trouble you. Okay, look at this part, along with her parents. So this is actually known as an additive phrase. Okay. Now, if you look at the bottom, of this slide, I have given a statement there. The little girl along with her parents. Forget about along with her parents. Keep this part aside because this part is given in between the subject and the verb. Actually, here the subject is the little girl because you are speaking about the little girl. Now, the question is are playing, right? Okay, there is a verb called are playing. Now, question, who are playing? Who are playing? The little girl are playing. It's not the little girl are playing. It is the little girl is playing. And then what about this part along with her parents? It can be kept at the end of the sentence. The actual statement can be like this: the little girl is playing along with her friends. Okay, the little girl is playing along with her parents. But this state, you can keep this part along with her parents in between the subject and verb. It is always kept in between the subject and verb to confuse you, because you think parents is plural. Okay, parents are playing, the statement is fine. No, it's wrong. It should be the little girl is playing along with her parents, or the little girl along with her parents is playing. Remember, additive phrases are, are those parts which come in between the subject and the verb, and these parts are given between the subject and the verb to confuse you. Okay, and there are a few phrases like this: along with, as well as, in addition to, besides, in company with or accompanied by, together with, involving or including. So remember these parts. You can use these phrases to join one verb, to join one subject, or to join a noun with other nouns. So here, little girl, girl is a noun that is joined with parents. Parents is another noun. So along with her parents, okay, is an additive phrase here. Remember, it actually doesn't affect the agreement between little girl and the verb. Okay, it's not the little girl are playing, it is the little girl is playing. Hope you have understood. If you still have any questions, you can write in comment section, or you can call me. I'll try to rectify your doubts. So, rule number 5. Okay, my friends plays cricket in the evenings. Now, identify what is the verb here in this sentence. My friends plays cricket in the evening. So, the verb is plays. Now, my question is, okay, is plays singular or plural? The verb is singular or plural? If I ask you, is singular or plural? You say is singular and the plural form is are. If I ask you was singular or plural, you say was is singular and the plural form is were. If I ask you has singular or plural, you say has is singular and the plural form of has is have. Now my question is, sorry. Now my question is, excuse me, okay. Now my question is play singular or plural? Or is plays singular or plural? Because my friends plays, the verb used here is plays, and the subject is my friends. My friends is plural, and now we should know whether place is appropriate, okay, here or not, whether place is correct or not. To understand whether it is right or wrong, we need to know whether it is singular or plural, because the subject, given subject, is plural. That means it should be followed by a plural verb. Okay, now remember friends that the action verbs, okay, these are all action verbs, right? Play, watch, read, sing, dance, they are all known as action verbs. And action verbs have got three forms, just like be form verbs: play, played, played; watch, watched, watched. Okay, like this. So you need to understand that in general, by default, all first forms of action verbs, which means V1, okay, play, watch, read, write, dance, go, make, these are all V1s, right? First form of a verb. So all these forms are naturally considered as, generally considered as plurals. And to convert these forms into singulars, you need to add s to the verb. Play is plural and plays is singular. Write is plural and writes is singular. Dance is plural and dances is singular. Okay, to convert them as singulars, you need to add s to the verb. Simple. Now my friends is plural and place is singular or plural? So this list tells you that place is singular. So the statement is wrong. We don't say my friends plays, we say my friends play. Okay, so this is very, very important. Now look at this table. Okay, I've given you some personal pronouns here. There are 7 pronouns. I play, we say I play. We say we play, you play, they play. Okay, he plays, she plays, and it plays. You know that he is singular, so he plays is correct. She is singular, she plays is correct. It is singular, it plays is correct. But maybe you have a question about I. I is basically singular, but we are not saying I plays, we say I play. It should be, I should be considered, I should be, actually considered as a neutral subject. And this is always followed by a plural verb. I play. We don't say I plays. And we, anyways, it's a plural. And they, anyways, it's a plural subject. They. And then you have you, both singular as well as plural. You are a student and you are students. So you and I should also be considered as plural subjects, and should be followed by plural verbs, especially action verbs, remember. Okay, clear? Next, see, look at this table. So am is singulars and the plural form of am is are. Was is the past form of am and is, and the plural form for was is were. And has is singular, the plural form is have, and the past form of has is had, and have, and the past form of have is also had. And now you have singular plays, and the plural form is play. Now reads, singular or plural? Singular. Plural form for reads is read. Writes, singular or plural? Singular. And the singular plural form of writes is write. Okay. So listen to these points very carefully. We discussed, 5 points. And the sixth point is negative sentences. I'll discuss negative sentences and other points of subject and verb agreement in the next part. So we'll do one thing. We'll try to learn the first 5 points today, and we'll be learning the other points in the next session. Thank you so much for your patient listening, and keep listening, keep solving, keep practicing more, and please get in touch with me in case if you have any questions. Hope you have understood the 5 rules of subject and verb agreement that we discussed today. So the first rule is there are some nouns which are always singular, some pronouns are always plural, some pronouns can be used both as singular as well as plural, and the additive phrases are given between the subject and the verb to confuse you. And remember that additive phrases do not affect the agreement between subject and verb. And then point number 5 is action verbs do have singular and plural cases. The first form of all action verbs in general should be considered as plural, and to convert them into singulars we need to add s to the verb. Please remember these points, and this is subject verb agreement part 1, and I'll be giving you more rules in part 2. Thank you, and please don't forget subscribing my channel, and also pressing the bell button. By pressing the bell button, whenever I upload a video you get a notification, and that makes my job easy. Otherwise I'll always have to give you an intimation, or I'll always have to inform you that I have updated a new video. Thank you, and keep practicing. Do well. Good luck.